great writers of our ages. Eliot, Shelley, Joyce, and Mugden. Okay, yes, hello. I am a mess, and my room is a mess, but I've had a very busy week. Last Friday was the big event, the launch party for Dragon Child, Book 2 of the Shadow Saga, at the Union Square Barnes & Noble. I'm still processing everything, but ultimately it was a fantastic event. I had a lot of people come out to show support. It was so wonderful seeing everybody. The audience was great. Barnes & Noble was happy by the end of the night, which I think is the important thing. So overall, I'm like, I was very turned up in the whole month leading up to it. I've had tunnel vision to the 17th. I was not able to like look past that point. So now I kind of have like postpartum depression. Like, what's next for the books? No, I'm just kidding. I know what's next for the books. I'm actually gonna go to Colorado and I'm back to Kansas in June, which is nice, you know? Oh yeah, and then after the Barnes & Noble event, that was Friday night, and I got home at like 11 o'clock on Friday night, and then at 8 a.m. Saturday morning, I went to Enola, Pennsylvania. By the way, I don't know who names all the towns in Pennsylvania, but they are pretty wild. Enola, Pennsylvania for another book event, back at Cupboard Makered Books. So that was really fun, and I got to see one of my old middle school friends, actually. And it was crazy. On Saturday, I drove to Pennsylvania in the morning, and I did the event, and I had lunch with my friend, and then I drove back to New York City, because I'm a lunatic. And then Sunday morning, I had work. And then this whole week, I'm working off my debts in the office. Oh, okay. Literally, this vlog, it's actually gonna be short because I am so exhausted and I have so little time. By the way, I have very little time, but I am writing every day. I said I would. And that, my friends, that's a big win. But yes, so 2 funny work stories. So one was when we were trying to figure out what office I was gonna be filling in at, my coworker called her coworker on her smartphone, obviously. So she's sitting here at her desk, I'm sitting here, and she's talking on her smartphone, and she puts it on speaker, so she's like inviting me to talk, and I was just like, can't interact with the smartphone, so I couldn't even say hi to this person I'm filling in for on speakerphone. So that was funny story number 1. And then funny story number 2, I was in the office today and they had a new person coming in, and the branch manager asked if I could take a picture of them. First she asked what kind of camera I have on my phone. There is no camera. So I showed her, she got a kick out of that, but I didn't go into specifics at that point. And then she comes over a few minutes later and she asks, can you take a picture of us together on my phone? And I said, well, funny story about that. I actually can't. And I mean, it sounds like my story sounds very unbelievable when I tell people. I'm like, yeah, I can't touch a smartphone for a year. Not yours, not mine. So I think she was a little bit like suspicious of me at first. Like she thought I just didn't want to do work. But then I told her about the contest. And whenever I tell people about the contest, they are intrigued. So the follow-up question is always, what's the prize? And then I tell her what the prize is. And after that, people understand why I am so rigid about not touching anybody's smartphone, not looking at anybody's smartphone, not talking to anybody's smartphone, never hearing Siri's voice. Oh man, I do not miss Siri. So those are my funny stories. I'm going into a new week. I'm writing, finishing up book 3, about to send it out to beta readers. After this huge event, you keep moving forward and you focus on the next task. And so I'm focused on the penultimate leg of the book tour, which is gonna be this Kansas-Colorado trip. I say penultimate because I have run out of energy and money, and then just move on to the next great adventure, which will be book 3. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you, what's next week? Yeah, I'll see you next week. Yeah, I'll see you next week. It's the 2 weeks after that that's gonna be the problem. But in the meantime, stay off those phones.